What it do?
Happy Aries new moon to you. Okay. Okay, guys. I got a lot of work to do today, so fuck off. We're gonna get right back into it. I go by the Holy Cow. How's it going? I don't know if I love this angle for us, but what are we really gonna do about it? I don't know, actually. I don't know. Maybe we do like a... Hold on, y'all. Let's try this and see if this is a little more appropriate. There we go. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we've got the remaining signs in my hand. We're basically going to do an April 2026 download punk ski, brother, not fun ski. I'm in a much... I had a fucking awesome day yesterday. I was off, and since I just like, had the best day ever. But yeah, so we're going to go right into it. You know who you are before I do. I'm just going to pick... Let me just show this really quick. I'm going to pick a sign at random, and then we'll just go from there. Oh, the suspense is building. Who do you think it's going to be, deadass?
Aries.
Deadass? Opposite the ecliptic, Libra. Okay, this is crazy because it actually is Libra next. Okay, Libra. So last night I tried to do your reading, and I didn't finish it, but then it came back again. So it was like literally like Libra's up next. Like, Libra, you're up next. Libby. So hopefully the message comes in a little bit clearer because like yesterday I just like felt like I had too much of like my personal energy on shit, and then like shit was weird. Honestly, there was just like too much shit going on that I was like, nah, ski. So anyways, Libra, I love you guys. Welcome. I'm so glad we're here, hanging out and talking. Happy Aries new moon to you. Happy April 2026. Let's just go. I'm just gonna do you a favor and just read you the cards so we can see. Because I honestly, with Libra, I think last night I just had like, I genuinely felt like I didn't know. I was like, I don't know if the energy that I'm reading is like, so if it comes out exactly the same, then I'll know it was your energy that I was picking up on. But I felt kind of like last night, like I was like, I don't know. And then I was kind of in a little bit of an unsettled energy, and I didn't want to be like projecting or anything. So thank you guys for being so patient, because I feel like you could have had it last night, because obviously it came out again. So Libra, here we go. Let's see what our opening message is from Source. Thank you, God. Whoa. Oh, Libra. Oh, Libra. A message is coming soon. A message is coming soon. A message coming soon. I mean, that's really simple. I think that's why we didn't do the reading last night, because last night the first card out was like the Two of Swords, which was like, it was Libra. Like Two of Swords is Libra, so it's like I can't discern. Last night I was just mad confused, because I was like, I feel like there's subterfuge. I feel like I had a really great day yesterday. I feel like shit was clear for me, but then I just feel like by the end of the night, I feel like God had me like skipping over the hellholes and shit. But then like by the end of the night, I like when I'm checking back in, I'm like, are you? I just was like, I don't even know where you girls are at. But it just looks like this King of Wands finally, Libra, for you, is finally ready to communicate. Page of Swords. It's a message. There's definitely like a simple message. Yeah, Aries new moon. Definitely expect a message from a King of Wands frequency. Yeah, absolutely. I also think, yeah. And just think about this, right? Because like I feel like to attract in a King of Wands, which is like the creative, magic king essentially, and to be sending a message, I feel like it would be a situation where Libra, like it's kind of a message where it's like, this reflects the truth that you've shared. So I feel like, especially when you're like trying to get out of like the attacks of like nefarious entities that don't want you to have like what you're meant to have, I think it just has to do with, and again, this message has to do with the attunement of your truth, like what you've created. Like again, I think this is just only something, this is very crazy too, this is like the only type of people who can get this King of Wands type of frequency. You've really got to be, so I just think there's a lot of grounding. I feel like yesterday, like the reason I like started the reading and didn't finish it is because like it takes a lot for you. I think this message was never, Libra, this is a really particular, I feel like you girls get me, but this message was, it wasn't ever, I think you really didn't think that this was for you or would ever come in. But the reality of it is I don't think you're aware of like how big of a deal the message is. Like it's kind of like the thing is, like nowadays everything is fucking sacrilegious, like nothing matters. But at the same time, it's like, it's like, for example, like if your crush is like, hey, I love you, like I don't know, if you're in the moment, you may not really be thinking about like how much someone had to like align themselves to be able to do that. And I just feel that way. I feel like perhaps like, Aries new moon, something arrives almost like exactly like a message arrives almost cyclically that's like just sent out via this energy. But I feel like you didn't it's kind of like I kind of just feel like it's a message that you feel like it's like, why now? Or like it's like, okay, and it's like I feel like you've just been going on this journey, whether you want this message or not, whether you're trying to be, we'll see when we keep going. But I just feel like you could be kind of like, what was it like? Not even like why now, not even from a better place, but like you might be genuinely asking God, it's like, what was it astrologically, or what was it like that made it available now internally? Because it's not just about like, oh, someone's finally ready now. It's like it would be a reflection of you. So like I think, Libra, like we're gonna get a lot of insight on like you probably sent out your King of Wands actually sent this out, like said a truth. And I think that's exactly why you receive a message in, okay, so let's see what the mental is, Libra. Let's see. Whoa. That's sweet. Okay, Libra, this is like super straightforward. I'm so glad I paused yesterday, because yesterday is just like too many like too many attacks on like just like for like what's the point? But Page of Swords, you confirm some like you I think somebody like I think the King of Wands is like sitting like, I can go in, I ain't ready. I can go in, I ain't ready. Fetty on Fetty. I can go in. It's like somebody needs to have whatever someone needed to have confirmed before. I think this is a matching of feelings. I think this is like when Libra, and this is any type of partnership, could be romantic or not, right? Romantic, platonic, doesn't matter. But it's like with a partnership, I think this is an assessment of depth. Like how deep. Like, I think it's like, okay, I feel like I need to from you. There's no question. I think too, because you've probably been on a long like gaslighting journey. There's no question that like this is orbiting you. That it was never an issue of like, do we know we're supposed to be in the picture with one another? I think it has to do with like people as individuals being like, I'm very aware of the depth. I would like for this collaboration, however it may be, romantic, platonic, business, what doesn't matter, right? I would like for this collaboration to have a certain depth. And I think it's just because like, look at the two energies that are coming forward. Because it's almost like one person is really into like, I almost want to say sending a message specifically. And this is like the message and the truth. But I think the messages are always slightly like tampered to like what's really behind it. Does that make sense? It's like you're always sending messages, Libra, and I feel like this is a kind of confirmation, because anybody who wants to be around Libra is like being like, because this could be any polarity, right? Libra is kind of like sending a message that does it's the truth. Like it's not like debatable what the truth is, but definitely know that whatever message Libra is sending about how deep they feel, it's definitely like way deeper. And I think that's why you see how I said at the beginning, I was like, you might be wondering, like, what did I do today that made this come through for me? Something that maybe you've been waiting for. Like, what would it have been? And it's just like someone really was not sure if you understand, or it's not even if you understand. It's not even about that. It's just like they're trying to assess. Is it like, because it kind of just seems like this other energy outside of you like wants the depth. They know what the depth they'll need from the situation would be. And I don't know if that's something that was always, because again, the realm of like what's communicated based on versus what's felt is what's being navigated for you right now, Libra. It's like feeling a lot of emotions. I'm trying to figure out a way to communicate that. Also, a side note from the person that you're talking, it's like they were just feeling a lot of things, and it's like I'm trying to figure out a way to communicate that type shit. Tres of Pentacles, you know what I mean? Wow. Yeah. And I think the message, that's the other thing. You might be receiving a message that has to start somewhere. So it's like, it's kind of like the communicated truth on today. And I feel like this one's, Libra, your message is very like today specific. So it's a timeless message. Like if you were to watch this on not the day that it was posted, you would be, just know like right now, today, that's what God wants you to know. Just think the message comes in today, and the message confirms that, because I think this is what, because like I said, last night, I wanted to come on a channel for you guys, but I was getting so blocked because the message was mad unclear. I was feeling feelings, but then like last night, what people were saying was way shallower than what they were communicating emotionally. So it was kind of pissing me off, because I was really about to do the like, I'm gonna cut all y'all off thing, which was getting mad. And then God was just like, why don't you just dance a little bit and pause, and then just revisit your work in the morning, because I could feel it though. I literally pulled you. You can swear to my husband. I pulled you guys last night organically too. Same situation where I just had on my leftover signs and I pulled it and it was like you guys. And I was like, okay, I just feel like I'm getting a little irritated because last night it was like cognitive dissonance. Like I feel like you might be feeling that way, Libra, where it's like it's kind of pissing me off because I think you're perceiving it as like this person's a liar or or it's like rejection. I think you think like you're being rejected by something, but in the reality is it's just like, could you imagine like explaining a really in-depth feeling, but you have to start it? I feel like this is initiation. I feel like this is someone who knows like it's obviously going to grow, but it's like, it's kind of like someone who owes you like a really big explanation how they have to start it's like them initiate Aries new moon. They're going to initiate the conversation with you now that goes on forever, and the conversation is heavy. The conversation that you've been waiting on is this one. It's a King of Cups that's like, I actually finally put it into my whole old shit and surrendered to God, and I've moved on. Like I'm not there anymore. And you saw that, right? You saw that it was actually over, even though what I feel was like, because that's the other thing that I'm saying. I think certain people too, Libra, another thing, because I kept being like, yesterday I kept being like, La Libra, because there's like, this one time some dude podcast, he was like talking about how like, he was like, all Libras are liars, and he was like, La Libra. So like yesterday, I kept saying that, like subconsciously, I just kept walking around, it wasn't even about anything, I was just like, La Libra. So that might be the thing where it's like, where, yeah, I just feel like you might be surprised too. There's a big element of like privacy and discretion. So like there's also like I feel like there's a lot of spiritual like explanation that I do think really completes it though. Like I feel like you should feel really confident, Libra, that it's like this message that comes in that's probably gonna have to be like, it's gonna be very formal and maybe not like ascertain, like, because it's just, this is somebody that you've been having this whole long spiritually, like it's like this big orbit, it's got a lot of data in the connection is for, but it's like it's been a separation thing. So it's like if you were to come back into union, like the first, someone would probably have to be like hello or hi or like whatever, and that's like maybe not what you'd want to hear, because I feel like you'd want to be like, I need it, you got, because I feel like you're kind of like, I think you're a liar, I think you're a Libra, so you know what I mean? So I feel like you're on that type of time. So just, I feel like maybe God was like the way God told me to give grace, because they're like, because God was kind of being like, well, Alexis, if they're gonna come in, they're gonna have to come in some way, either way. Like you can't be so like, so I kind of got tested karmically to make sure that it's like safe for them to come forward, because they're like, no, I fully plan on telling you. It's like, Libra, your high priestess is completely correct about it. It's over. It's surrendered. The chapter is complete, right? That's the King of Cups truth. If you didn't know that, Libra, I just need to let you know the King of Cups, this King of Cups is like definitely needs to go aligned to what I feel. And this would really make sense because this kind of reminds me of like sort of the Cancer character arc in the recent years, where it's like Cancers have really been coming into this understanding about how like they might be more into like an esoteric baddie, and that's okay. And maybe they haven't like really been letting themselves like have that or some in some aspect. And so this is kind of just about like being honest about like, I feel like someone is just like, yeah, this king, it's like the King of Cups archetype is like, this whole thing is completely dead and I really need to surrender it now, because this High Priestess energy, like it's see-through. Like I feel like I'm being way too seen. I think someone also was like, is way too visible. Like I think you guys are in, I think the other thing that got collapsed too is like, I also want to say, side note to the High Priestess, you should feel very, this High Priestess should feel very, I don't think they feel this way. I don't think they realize how much like, so when I was like awakened, I was like tapped by some spiritual brothers, and they like, basically they were like revealing my prophecy in my life, and they were like, Alexis, when you shut something down, it's shut down. And so, for example, that's just like what Spirit was telling me with this High Priestess. It's like, this high priestess like shut something down by how much she like in a freaky, scary, fucked up, crazy way exposed. This is something I don't think people saw, that the high priestess, one, she just got like mad goated because she just like read the filth every single, like, let's just say somebody was on a karmic cycle and they took all these turns with somebody, right? And it was crazy, but it was also hidden, meaning nobody on the planet knows this is happening except the high priestess. So I'm literally getting, there is something that someone is literally lying about to the public. Like they're saying like, because it's just because of like, this is like someone's public identity where, you know, when there's like public identity things that have to be like handled appropriately, sort of like you just want to make sure that like you do damage control is what I'm saying. Because if this is really what's going on, which is like it's over and it ended crazy and it definitely would embarrass people, like it would definitely be embarrassing that like that this situation wrapped up in this way, like completely, because of just how I think invested someone really was. So I'm feeling like that's what I'm saying, like Libra, you were really getting triggered because like you're clocking like lies, or like I said, because remember Libra, the last message I think we did together was like, fuck the hush money, like I don't want to stay quiet about the realities of this. And so Libras, I just feel like you were dealing with this energy outside of yourself where like what's on the table is the lies that have to, whether they're lies that have to be told because we're in the matrix. So in order for you to keep some sort of status system or whatever going, it has to appear this way or it has to be this way. But there's like a lie you're clocking. And I feel like that lie yesterday was making, I was literally about to be like, I'm good, because I just did all this work to be super open-hearted. I did these first like few signs and I was like, oh, okay, I'm open-hearted. But then I confronted the lie yesterday and I don't know. But I realized that God wanted me to like pause because it had everything to do with what I was reading, but it actually was like a deeper download that I need to like sleep on, which is like, but I feel like there's the thing that changed the trajectory. I feel like the high priestess changed the trajectory, because I think some people were going to go with this, we could just tell the public one thing and do something else private. But I feel like the high priestess's powers have gotten so like since the Habersham, like it's so like if you're in a high priestess frequency, if it's you or if it's around you, that high priestess is so gifted now. And this is kind of the karmic of it too. It's like she clocked every single turn of the T, like every single thing that's in the T. She like, so I think this is like freaking people out, because it's like someone knows the whole exact truth. Someone has like literally already said, and they're not even trying. It's like they're so gifted. They've like said like the truth that I think someone is like suppressing. Like there's a lot more emotions, Libra, under the surface than what you're communicating. I feel like that's the biggest thing. And this could be high vibration or low vibration. It could be like someone is like, it could be as toxic as like, oh, I have to, you know, I'm Katy Perry and I have to like, I'm going to divorce my, what's his name? But I have to like, or it's like, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, like before they can tell everybody like that they're actually going back to divorce. It's like they've just kind of been, you know what I mean, and how the public perception. So it's like that's what you've been kind of in, Libra. You've been in this experience very recently where it's like everything you say has to water down more so how deep you feel, and I think that's really gonna hit with you. But I also feel like what manifested from this is like God is blowing that all up. I think Uranus and Gemini is blowing that all up, because what you thought you could passively wait on, which is like, again, we can't really lie for shit, Libras, is like you are hiding. You're not, I think, Libra, there might be a situation where it's like you think you're hiding and everything is seen. That's why you guys could really learn a thing or two from me, because it's like, at least I don't lie about all the back alley back. Like I tell you guys everything that's going on. It doesn't matter, because it's really happening and everyone can see it. Like everyone's spirit can see who's fucking with me, who's trying to do this, who's trying to do this. I feel like that's what's happening. It's like everything is like super on the table here. Like your secrets are seen. I feel like there's just a feeling of like, Libra, I think spirit has karmically attracted to you a divine entity that is auditing your whole truth, because you've been kind of doing the Libra thing, which is like, again, just a major suppression, like literally being like, oh, I'm happy, but really the feeling is way deeper than that, you know? Or like, I'm having a good day, but it's really like a lot more. Do you get what I'm saying? The mismatch of this. It's like when you show up in a room, you're always like watering down how you really feel when you communicate it. Does that make sense? And I feel like that has been the problem. I think that's also, not to be rude, but I will also say I am getting a big message where this King of Cups is like really completing a cycle with, I feel like, the Libra collective outside of you, because of that. Because of like, dude, it's been so many things you've said, but the emotion, like the backing up of it. It's like, you've said all this stuff, but it's not true. And then I feel like this King of Cups, if this is something you've done, if you had a King of Cups, Libra, and it's like, you like Libra, which again, it means you're just not embodied. It means like you say a lot of stuff that's like you don't return on the investment of it. Like you've said a lot of things and they're just still waiting on you to like do what you said. At this time, they're allowed to attract in a high priestess that just wraps that up because spirit is tired. Look, it can't look it's like this person is getting freed by the divine because Libra, you've told them enough lies to like completely end the whole old identity of it, but then also like you've done an extra 6 on top. This is 16 initiations that you've gone with this. Like usually spirit doesn't even let something go on that long. It just feels like very much that frequency where it's just like it can't, Libra, it cannot be this anymore because it's like you've set up this partnership, I just feel, where it's like and also Libra, the other issue is I think there's a big issue in alignment here because when I look at your current position, you're very much on the frequency of like your truth, your spiritual truth is very young, okay? So maybe a lot of Libra placements might be like newer soul incarnations. This might be your first time in this bitch, you know what I mean? So your spiritual truth is budding, let's say. You definitely have a bit more depth in the world of like what you feel strongly about. But I think the problem in the past, Libra, is like this is what you were doing trying to come and court this. And so what I will say, Libra, is for you and your partnerships, this could be deeply interpersonal, this could be business, this could be love. This was the dynamic. And I think the reason that it has to end this way with this much of kind of like all of your shit getting audited right now, because Libra, I think this is happening on the high and the low vibration like I'm having right now, to like pretty much everything I've ever said I have to kind of now come back and like show, because it's that kind of war right now. It's that type of spiritual war where it's like because everybody's been saying shit for years. Everybody's been telling you like, oh, this is who I am, I'm this, I'm an artist, I'm this, I'm that, right? So right now God would just like go up to everybody and be like, make sure that you are growing with that identity. And it just looks like, Libra, in this particular relationship, whatever identity you have to hold to be in it, you weren't keeping up the embodiment of it. It seems like that. I'm just being honest with you. It just seems like you're not actually keeping up. You're not doing, it's like, this is like the person, me and my husband were talking about this. We were like, you know, you can't call someone your wife if you're not sleeping together. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that role specifically is like, that's what that role is. Like it is the person that you're telling the world like that you do want to have like sex with forever. It's not actually about all that other stuff. It's not about like family planning and like da-da-da. It's actually like the basis of like spouse and spouse is like that is literally being like, this is who I'd like to have sex with. So it's like, this would be that. This would be the person who's like, I want to court this man. And I feel like the other thing that's, and I'm saying man as a gender, but like say like, this is like some lady who's like, I want to court this man, but this man is a king of cups. You understand what that means? So you can't also, Libra, you can't lie your way into getting aligned to something that's more stable than you or that has more than you, because what ended up happening is like the whole relationship, you were saying all these very like, I'm a new soul, I came to this strange world hoping I could, Libra. And for a lot of Libra placements, most of your life is about like learning. Like there's a lot of like the world that you're just, I think a lot of this can be like, I think this King of Cups kind of looks at you kind of, it's the dynamic is so dark and so like, it's so much it's like so much lies, like literally it's like, because they turned into lies because you didn't back them up. It doesn't mean that when you said them they were like things you wanted to lie about. It's stuff that you didn't follow through on, so they became lies. You get what I'm saying? Like if you say I'm gonna write a book, you know what I mean, and like that's fine, and that's not a lie when you said it, but it's like it didn't, right, you didn't it's do like, it weird at, right? It's like we just, right. You know what I mean? So that's a really big message. But I feel like this king is looking at you as like, their relationship to you, Libra, would be like, well, at the end of the day, I really should have seen this coming, because the truth is this is a new soul. I think that's what it is, because I think there was so much damage. Like I think Libra, you might have been really out of your depths, because I don't think you knew what you had spiritually. I don't think you knew that the thing you went up to trying to gain like life experience and like, you know, follow your feelings, you know, but this is a big lesson to you that it's like you have to not only be where you are for your own growth and development, but you have to like, So this is kind of like a bless your heart situation, because it just seems like you caused a lot for the prophecy of this King of Cups frequency, but it really does kind of come down from the fact that like it's not even like you were trying to lie when you wanted to start this partnership, because this looks like a partnership that is like at its total completion, and to the point where like God had to bring in the high priestess to like look at it, because there's just been so much, I feel like, Libra, that has been said in this partnership that was so untrue, that is just so not backed up, that it literally is why y'all attracted this. I think you also might be mad because you're like, why the F is it like, why is this? I feel like you're mad that this high priestess is here wrapping something up. You're like, why are you in this picture? And I don't think you have a higher view as to why God has assigned this high priestess here. God assigned it because this high priestess is trying to give clarity, because this is so much spiritual like offense. Like this is a lot of karma spiritually. And I think God would assign the high priestess because both of these people, you Libra, and the thing that you've been partnering with, need illumination that I don't think, because you're so in the partnership. And I think it also, this is a partnership where I also get the feeling of like, should have been a Tinder date instead of a fucking 7-piece, fucking situationship. You get what I'm saying? Because you see the sirens are going off to confirm that. It's like, it turned into like, and so I think because you guys are wondering, like, I feel like somebody had to come in and fumigate and raise. It's like, how did we get here? It's like smoky. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, how did we get to this explosive level experience? And I just genuinely feel like the high priestess comes in and is giving a lot of spiritual word, because I think this King of Cups is also like so open-hearted, has been really calling out to God, like, I need to understand what went wrong here, because I also feel like, Libra, at the surface, this could all be pretty. You get what I'm saying? So this isn't the type of toxicity. This is like someone's life getting upended and becoming really toxic, but it's not like, but they're not understanding why, in the sense of like, because the toxicity is coming from misalignment at a soul level. So it's not like, oh, I know this is a misaligned relationship because this person, like, they don't pay their bills, they don't, they don't do that. It's not a survival based thing. It's deeply misaligned because of where the souls are at in their evolution, actually. Like, it's actually because, like, someone has a better grip and understanding. They've gotten to spend more lifetimes learning about their soul, so they, like, are in a different phase than where you are, Libra. Straight up. And so, the person who, in the dynamic, who has the is more ascended, essentially, is, you don't know this because you're probably not the more ascended one in the relationship, but they took on a lot to connect to you. And I feel like you keep sending, I also feel like, Libra, you're sending out a lot of shit. I also feel like God wants to tell you, stop sending out stuff. Like, you're sending out like Obio and Evil Eye and stuff, but you need to like pause for a second, because it's like, everything you're sending out, you're not quite clocking that it's like, it's not really appropriate for you to be like, continue this way where it's like the things that you say are way more shallow than how you are really feeling all the time. When you make a reality like that, this is what I'm saying. It sounds like you, Libra, you've really, really been in this experience where, like, because the last time we checked in with each other, we were talking about like not wanting the hush money, not wanting, like, if you I don't want to be paid off. I want to be bought off. I don't want to, right? But yeah, I really get this feeling where it's like, you wouldn't know this, but it's the position that you put the other thing that you're partnered with that is, again, more spiritually ascended. So it's like, you're making this person relearn a lot of lessons by staying partnered to you that they don't need to keep learning, that they've already embodied. And so that's why God is having the high priestess come in and say, it's got to stop. It's not even about you, because I feel like, Libra, you keep sending all of this emotionally charged, like, verbiage. You keep adding words into the pot, but you need to, like, I literally feel like, Libra, you need to like pause for a second, and you really need to like listen to this message, really, because you're a baby soul, and that's great for you. And that's why some of this seems like it's all like really at the front of your mind, but you need to understand, if you partner with things, they have to be walking and on the same phase as you, or else someone will be sacrificing to meet the other person where they are. But for this King of Cups, who seems like they run a kingdom, it looks like they're leaving a spiritual kingdom that their soul has earned and they've been told they have the responsibility of running, but they haven't been running it. Why? Because they've been with Libra. repeating the same lessons over and over again. And that can't keep spiraling. And so this high priestess is being assigned by God to be like, you guys have right now to close the cycle, because the universe, the laws of balance won't even let you keep doing that. Even if this person is super down to keep sacrificing for you, it's not an option, because their goal, just like your goal, is to be the soul that they are and continue to learn about life through the right experiences. But they're not calling in the right experiences for themselves, because I think there is this attachment to this. I also think if you're wondering how this partnership came into be, like, well, then how did we get here? It's because I think someone was seeing, I think this King of Cups was really looking into like earnest mentorship. Like, I think they have a spiritual calling that I think also the aligning to this queen or this high priestess helped them realize, like, oh, okay, because I can stop trying to like mentor, like show people how to do stuff, because I think what they were doing with you is projecting the spiritual growth they've been craving. So instead of going and trying to help you like boss up spiritually or get more, more ascended or more conscious, what they really need to do is just like actually go into and be aligned to what's truly for them, so that they can get all the, because I feel like they align to you. I think this is a karmic situation that gets aligned to one another, because someone has been in a small pond doing the same thing and they need to go to the bigger water. And then you were just like a baby soul that can align to, like, it can make this person feel like they're doing the work that they should be doing, because it is like work in regards to spirit, but it's work with someone else who's less ascended than them, right? And it's like staying in this, it's like helping someone else with lessons you've mastered, but it's actually been stifling out this King of Cups in a crazy way, in a way that's very painful for them. It also just kind of makes life colorless. Like, it just feels like every day that the King of Cups was continuing to do this, like to continue to like think of dynamics in this way, which is basically projecting the things he was craving. The King of Cups is projecting their desires onto you, Libra. And that's what happened. That's probably why you felt so chose. But this is also someone who came up to you and projected their desires onto you. And so this is definitely, it's funny because my parents were telling us a story about like how they fell in love last night at the dinner table. And it kind of is this dynamic where it's like the way that you might get smothered by someone else who projects their desires. Like, it's like the way you can get pursued by someone if they're just projecting like if someone's like, I'm really ready for love. That's a personal chapter. You should ignite that, but you can't necessarily just be like, I'm ready for love now, so like what I'm gonna do is let me just like go up to Libra and be like, because I think Libra, your disposition was like, whoa, me? And then I think they came up to you and they may even have kind of given like a lot of things that now you're like, well, you used to say I was this and this. So now there's kind of like a lot of stuff that they have to be like, I lied about. It's just, again, it seems like a Libra. But that was what was happening. Someone projected their desires onto you, unfortunately, Libra. And you're just coming face value, like, okay, but what you're saying doesn't match your depth, because you don't really quite understand even why this is on your table. Like, this is like a lot of Libras being like, I don't even know how I got you. That's not a good, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you have like high value people, like, conscious guys, high value people, like your story wouldn't be like, I don't know.
Right.
It wouldn't be like,
it would be.
I don't know how, yeah. Right? So, just a little. Yeah. So, we're learning. Let's keep going. This is beautiful. This is so much better of a flow, because I feel like yesterday, Libra, you were sending out a bunch of messaging that I was like, okay, because you're not really clocking exactly what's like happening here, and what the dynamics were. Okay, like I said, it just seems like you got attracted to sort of like a dynamic where it could really also manifest third dimensionally. We could say things like narcissist empath type of frequency, where it's like one person kind of ended up becoming a narcissist in your dynamic, and then the other person just like overly giving empathic energy, because like that would happen if someone's like projecting their desires onto you, only fixating on like helping you like spiritually catch up to them, but they're not realizing, then that would just cause like a lot of cycles of stagnation for them and a lot of like looping. So all of those things were happening, Libra. It's kind of like a crazy vibe. Yeah. The Lover's card was also hidden in there, flipped out. I also think that this King of Cups I want to say, Libra, this King of Cups, whatever they projected onto you and took from you, like if they did this to you, this high priestess is doing that exact thing to them karmically. It has to happen, because the whole issue here is about people going places that they're actually challenged. I think, Libra, you felt challenged, but you didn't feel challenged in the way like, this is motivating me to become a better person. I think, Libra, you really feel out of your depths. I don't want you to stay in this energy. This isn't great, because the Page of Swords is not a very it's not a really super strong conviction. You're really close to the truth. This is like knowing you love someone from shared experience, but not because you're really connected to like knowing yourself very deeply. This isn't like you've had time to like develop your own sense of self-love, which is why like your feelings are always way more than what you're able to say. So this is where you have to like do more work, clearing work, energetic work. This is just more like soul maintenance work to make these more of an aligned thing, so that when you feel something, you can say what you feel truthfully. I also think that's the other issue, that might be your part of the dissolution of this, is that like you might have also been lying about this. This is someone who like over exaggerates the nut, you know what I mean? You might be like, oh, like let's never do that, right? And maybe that's what, you know, I also kind of feel like there's a big dynamic here, Libra, where it's like whoever you're in a partnership with, if you've been also like fucking lying about like how good the sex is or how much it makes you feel, this person is definitely carrying that wound, because it looks like it all kind of came out on the table that like the data because I feel like you've been in some long partnership that shouldn't have. It doesn't mean that I'm not saying it's long as in like it was 20 years. I'm saying like it should have never been that long. I'm saying like this is someone that you could have crossed paths with and continued to cross paths with. It wasn't supposed to, but it looks like you made a relationship, and it's like when you make a relationship with that thing, it's like the issue here is like I feel like you were lying about something, about how good something felt. I literally just see Libra being like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, you're so hot, yeah. Libra. And I just feel this King of Cups, he's just so like, because destiny has called him forward, and he has to, like, I'm saying he because of the gender. This person does not have to be he, but the King of Cups, sorry, that I'm talking about. This King of Cups is karmically the way the wheel turns, which was like before you were the one that like felt like the relationship was aspirational, so you were doing all this acquiescing, you were doing all this like trying to keep up. I just see you on a hamster wheel. I literally see you on your hamster wheel, like trying to keep up, but it's again, it starts becoming lies, because your life is not about keeping up with someone, leader, because now you're inauthentic. Now I just feel like you've tried so hard to keep up with something that's like you're not clocking. That's what I'm saying. And then you were also starting more damage, and you're kind of being, last night I feel like, Libra, you might have been like kind of like causing, like I'm telling you, because this message is about today, what message gets sent today, or what message has to come through today because of like, but I feel like last night you were sending all this like emotional messaging that's not adding up, but it's because you're not even, I don't even think you realize why maybe you're even getting some of the karma that you're getting, but I think you really need to hear from spirit. You have actually technically really just been lying over time. And this is different because, you know, Cancer kind of had the whole like compulsive lying, which is just kind of like having the habit of just like doing that. This is more like lying about how you feel. Lying about feelings does a lot of damage, Libra. Meaning, and I feel like you would be lying about good feelings. I feel like you would be telling someone, so, again, it's like fake orgasms. It's like you'd be telling someone, oh, you're so fine, and you don't, it doesn't match your feeling for real. And again, I think it's because you've been you're a new soul, so your disposition is like really trying to figure out the school of life thing. This King of Cups is not someone this is someone who's like in the school of life. This is someone who has mastered their own soul. They have a degree. They have a spiritual degree. You're still in the school of life trying to earn yours. And so you were lying, like you never feel as deeply or as honestly or as truthfully as what you say to this person. So like now you've said kind of like, it looks like throughout the history of this relationship, it's like you were like, you've like kind of really, this is like, okay, because this King of Cups is open-hearted. And I also feel like some of you Libras, maybe like, I kind of also get like your vendetta. Like you might also just like, I feel like Libra, no shade, this is a small message, This person is a karmic. This is someone that in a past life, you guys agreed that I'm going to come back. You had unfinished karma that has to do with the dynamic. So you guys were going to incarnate. And so say maybe you incarnated back in this lifetime as lovers. But what you were going to do is like in the last lifetime, what I'm seeing is it was actually enemies. And the whole reason you incarnated as lovers in this lifetime was so that you could get your lick back. Because this is kind of like a past life soul's lick back kind of mentality where it's like, because you go into the veil, so you wouldn't have consciously even known you're doing this. It's something your soul is doing. It's not your conscious person. It's like your soul is like getting their lick back by basically like destroying this King of Pentacles open heart. Because if this person hurt you in a past life, like broke your heart in a past life, for example, or did something some sort of way, in this life, it's like, you know, they incarnated with an energy signature where their shit has to stay open. So what you decided to do was inflate and kind of basically like lie and say like, oh, all your ideas are really good. Oh, you're the best at what you do. Oh, no one gets my pussy wet like you do. That's Libra. That's like what you were doing the entire relationship. Whole time, everything you said was never accurately honest to the feeling. So then the spiritual team has to come in because God has seen this now. You guys have completed it. The high priestess is here to, and so just before you guys finish the soul dance and you guys aren't going to do the soul dance anymore, the high priestess shows up. And you maybe have sent the high priestess all the bullshit, but she's just on assignment from God. She's just like reading what the decree says. She's just reading like, the high priestess comes and sets people free. Like when you really have served your time, and I think you'll feel this way because again, there's no love here. There's no real love. This is like communicating fake feelings. You are released from the cycle where you communicate fake feelings. That should be like your message today. You and your partner are both being released from this cycle. Okay? Yeah, both of you are. And again, the high priestess is really helpful because I think you kind of are getting like, it's almost like you need some education on your soul though. That's why, because I think a lot of Libras are like, why, Alexis, why are you in my life? Why are you in my picture? Can you like, what do you got to do with anything? And I'm just letting you know, I would play like a high priestess role where it's like, I can bring you the clarity because I think God does not want you guys to do this again. It's not gonna, this is when the world comes, like, it's done. You're not gonna be able to incarnate again and come find this nigga in the next lifetime and do this again. It won't be doing it again because of the illumination you're getting now. You guys are not at the same soul evolution. So this relationship looks like it developed, I would say like romantically or like a partnership. Like it developed as a desired partnership, let's say that. But for many of you, it is a romantic connection and you're finding yourself ending and completing a romantic connection. And the awareness that you need to take from that is that one, this is a past life. It is true that, because I think you might have also felt something when you met this person or when you came across them. So like, a lot of times when you have soul memory, it can feel that way and you might mistake that as like attraction or like magnetism or like whatever. But in the reality, it's just someone your soul actually does know. So you were on the money. Like when you guys came across each other, whatever the karmic situation was, whenever you came across each other, your souls did actually agree. I'm here to validate. You did have a covenant. You were supposed to do this, but it doesn't continue. And I also have to bring the illumination of like, you guys were communicating fake feelings. I think that's something that both of you also mirrored in each other. You were meant to show each other in this time where it's like the only way to live in this life and survive. Because I think both of you died in a past life in a certain way over emotional dishonesty. And so in order for you girls to like actually help one another grow, even if you two are like ops at a soul level, is like you did this dance with one another so that we can understand how much damage emotional dishonesty causes. I'm so grateful. Hold on. I'm so grateful to be with you guys because you guys are really like helping me work through this energy. Because last night, I think your emotional dishonesty is sending out a lot of ripples that you're not aware of. You don't understand. You're being dishonest about this partnership, and it's actually affecting like a lot more people than you think. It's actually a really big nucleus. There's like a whole network of people. And I think you guys are starting to, because I think this partner doesn't maybe even know all the things that you're being emotionally dishonest about. I think they're still showing up in a way of loyalty to you because I don't think they've ever known that you were lying about some of the things. And again, when I say lying, I just mean you're saying things that don't assess like you're, even if you think like, I'm just trying to make my man feel good by telling him he's the hottest man in the world, but you don't actually believe that. Like, again, I really don't tell y'all Dennis is the finest man in the world in a subjective way. I wouldn't say that. Like, I would just say he's my cup of tea. I really know, I'm very aware how many people are attracted to him because he has a universal attraction. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be very, it's just got to be emotionally honest. You know, it can't come from this relation. So I think you are a Libra, and it might have been in childhood where you're trying to do the Venusian complimentary thing where it's like, oh, you know, like you're really, maybe that's how you were nurtured, where it's like, people were like, no, you're really handsome. Like, people couldn't be honest with you, you know, maybe because like, let's say like as a kid, you always struggled with like, you know, childhood obesity or something. I don't fucking know. Right. And it's like, you know, your mother being like, no, you're beautiful either way. When really like, we can just help kids navigate that. Like, your vessel is really important. We have to make sure that movement and the diet we eat are all copacetic with your soul, because a lot of times like stored weight and chronic illness and things like that have to come with like something that you're putting into the machine isn't for you. And that's why I say we shouldn't be doing this universal diet where everybody's like meat and dairy. Like, you should really tap in with your soul, because not everybody's soul, and that's why some of y'all look big back, because you've never like actually got really specific about how the things you do make you feel. I mean, even this, a side note, is like a lot of times like Libra, you like eat things or you like do things that don't, and it's very big like disconnect about like how the food maybe you eat makes you feel, the friends you hang out with make you feel, the things you wear make you feel, the place you make you feel. So this person really represents a bigger cycle that needed to be illuminated here. But again, it has everything to do with like you caused a lot of damage because you were being emotionally dishonest. And I think you thought it was productive, and it's like super not productive. It's actually not productive. I also think this King of Wands, who now, remember we be at the beginning, I was like, oh, there's a King of Wands that's like sending a message today. And I think someone was wondering like, what changed with my King of Wands? Because I was sitting here like, you know, someone might be receiving a message today and they're in the ether like, well, what the fuck changed? What made it? And the person who's like getting this message from your King of Cups in their King of Wands in the recent past is like, well, what changed? And this is God giving them the enlightenment that like, what changed is that like, this person was acting the way they had their boundaries up to something that was really for them because of your emotional dishonesty. So like, this is like someone who's like with a partner that unless you said you didn't like them or this wasn't working or there was like signs of dysfunction, they wouldn't see any reason to leave. Straight up, they think they have a good thing, but they don't realize you're lying. That's the issue. They're being very honest. You're not telling the truth. So they really, what they say they feel about you, they do actually feel, but it's now not even really what they feel. That's the wound you're giving someone right now, because this is like kind of a rapey wound, because when you lie about how you feel about someone and then attract someone in who's honestly reflecting your lies, when it all crumbles and you have to come to the honest truth, which is that you didn't feel that way anyways because you're not performing it anymore, this person unfortunately has to deal with the wound of like, so I was in love with something for real that I really, I guess, didn't love, because it's not really possible to love something that's not real. Do you get what I'm saying? And so I feel like in the recent past, this king is now trying to figure out like, how do I even give this message to my actual alignment, my actual people, because I don't even know how to explain, like, I just got my shit humbled and I was blocking you because in their eyes, they really do have a solid thing with you. Because you've been fucking every night, literally every night you're fucking, you're like, oh, daddy, you're hitting me. And it's like, they're not. It's like, you don't even feel anything. But the worst thing is the theatrics, Libra. I do think you could have chilled on the theatrics. I do think you could have been honest. Because this is kind of making you a bad person. No shade. It kind of makes your character a little shitty. Because it's like, because I feel like you've done this for years to this person. And like I said, this could be business, right? You could be like working with a business partner where you always tell them their ideas are so good and now they're wondering why like I almost feel like you lie. You like build someone up and you're like, you're the greatest, you're the best, everyone loves you. And then they're confused why like they're always isolated and they actually, people really hate them in practice. But it's because they got a bunch of Libras around them who are always like lying to their face about how important they are, or like making them, because this person is really important. They do have a real sense of importance. It's not about like, oh, this is a loser. No. But you bring to them nothing but lies. None of the things you're saying are based in any truth. Like, you're not the person they should be getting resources or information about who they are and what their output is from the world. I'll just say that. Whoever you're partnering with right now, that you're like, that God is like, Aries is like, this has to stop now. It's like, it's over now. It has to happen because of that. Like, you didn't help this person, because I think this person was going off of your theater performance. They were watching you be like, you're changing my life, we're having cosmic sex, I feel so spiritually aligned to you, and you were really just saying that stuff to try to keep up with them spiritually, but not from a place of like your honest emotional capacity. So it caused a lot of damage because someone has been showing up, your partner, the thing that you're partnering with, has been showing up mad schizophrenic. Like, they've been showing up, and to their world, they're not making any sense. Because what they're saying, because let anyone be able to see through your lie, Libra, in a way that your partner can't. They're going to be like, dude, you're like embarrassing yourself to your partner. Because I feel like there's a lot of people that know you don't feel what, it's not that you don't feel nothing. You don't feel what you say you feel about them. A lot of people know that. Yeah. And it's probably because you've been around. I also, Libra, also you be slipping around, be like, yeah, like you be the type of partners that be like telling people, like, no shade, but like, okay, so my brother's a Libra rising. I'm gonna just say this. And this is one of the reasons why I cut, me and him, I did, you know, because he's emotionally dishonest. Yes. And in my opinion, over the summer, I think in certain ways it kind of became a little bit abusive, and it was kind of like, in my opinion, like starting to like really batter his partner, because it was just so obvious that like everything she did for me and Dennis, and like the ways that she was there for Sherman and stuff, were because like she was kind of under the impression that like like, you know, when you think someone's going to be a long-term romantic partner, so you do things for them because like you care extra about them in ways that you wouldn't if it was like someone you were just going to get a booty call from. Like, you wouldn't go, like, for example, Sherman's brother and sister needed a place to stay overnight because their mom kicked him into the street. We didn't have anywhere to go. So Sherman's partner is like, absolutely, they can come stay with us. I'll give them my cat's room. So she lets us have her cat's room, right? But that's something that Sherman didn't understand that she's doing, because she's assuming that like you are like, there's a seriousness to this report. Like, these are lifelong family members, da, da, da. But my brother's issue is that, like, I really, like, I'm like, Sherman, do not be this person. Because he be the type of person that, like, his whole ass partner thinks of herself as his partner. And Sherman's like, that's my friend. He's that type of guy. Yeah, unfortunately. He's like, oh, that's my friend. And bless his heart, I don't want him to change because he's double Aries. So he's like, he's just not going to be able to lie in his spirit. Like, he's just not. But it is, like, abusive. It's like very abusive to this person, because you got to let someone go if you know, because I also think after a while, Libra, this is also about like you wanting what they give you. This is, look, I'm seeing a lot of Libras being like, you just lie and say whatever because they, you know, this is like someone eating out of the palm of your hands for too long. This reading might really disgust non-Libras about you, Libra. I'm sorry. Because this behavior is it's a little poo shiesty. It's a little disgusting, because it's kind of like you kind of got a little entitled. This is you being like, I could play you like a puppet. Yeah, for sure. You were playing somebody like a puppet. You were like, when I tell you this, you do that. When I tell you this, you do that. And I think you learned your playbook about what Berkeys and Blinksies that you get from this person. Yeah, but the high priestess showed up and was like, you got to cut that shit out right now because it's over. It's like, it's over. It's like, we're not doing that anymore. And Libra, I think karmically too, I feel like the wheel turns. So I think this is a wheels fall off. I think you were going to milk this partnership like this until the wheels fell off, which is a certain type of demonic. That's like very dark. It's not cool to do that to this person or to do that to someone. Via using that much levels of emotional dishonesty. But I also think you've been really, like I said, you were both of you project, but it's like because the wheel's turning, like whoever was projecting emotions onto the other partner, which probably was your partner in the beginning. Now you're projecting your emotions onto the partner, because it looks like you've been really getting mad at the fact that your partner's getting like intuitively like their focus is somewhere else, and you've been kind of like trying to micromanage that, and kind of just like now it's like re-stimulating you. It was making you like re-engage back in the partnership, because you're like, well, wait, hold up, who are you looking at? Because it really just more so threatens like your ability to like be like jump, and then they say how high, right? That's really why you're mad. It's not even because you really love them, which is also really fake and fraudulent, and it's not good. But you've been really kind of like hyper fixating and really communicating and being like blah, 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 putting all this like karmic data and words and emotions out and projections and obia and evil eye on people. Who you've been putting a lot of evil eye on whoever has your partner's attention right now. Because you think it's going to threaten like this system that's in. But I want to say right now, fuck all that, because this person deserves for this to be disrupted. Uranus is going to come in and disrupt it, because you are basically saying, I'm okay with sacrificing your life, because this person deserves to be with someone who's not going to lie about the nut. I feel like that. Like, we can't do that. We can't lie about the nut anymore. You know, we can't. But because the thing that's baiting out your partner, the thing that's like getting your partner's attention that they just can't, like, that's starting to really make them, you know, and they've been feeling bad because up until now, like I said, you've been telling them, I'm 100% satisfied. I'm so in love with you. This is so amazing. I so want to keep living this life. You're so awesome. You're the best at what you do. You're so good. You make me busy. And that's not true. Like, all of that stuff you literally say to get something, to get whatever they do when you say that to them. From them. That's the real reason you say it. You don't say it because you feel it. You say it because of what you know they'll do when you give them that. It's a very high level manipulation. And this does definitely need to get purged out of the collective at this time, Libra. Because this person isn't getting baited out by something light. They're getting baited out by the real foundation they've been building. The foundation that they've been building with you, they've been doing their part in building what God is asking them to build, but it's not supposed to be built with you. And so what they've probably been taking on too, they probably even been feeling really tormented too. That's why God's trying to free them immediately, because I think they've really been like, no, I have an amazing wife, and I have an amazing life, and I have an amazing husband, and I have amazing kids, and I have amazing da-da-da, and this is good, and I should just put these blockers up because temptation's gonna come. You know, you're right, God. Temptation, and it's like temptation does not come. When you're in a line marriage, temptation does not come. Nothing. No. What? No. No, because you're not insecure. You're not looking to get, there's nothing to get out of. You know, this person is actually being baited out by their actual foundation. Like, the thing that they're seeing and that they keep focusing on is actually for them. And you're the thing that's lying. I just don't think that, like, you've ever been honest emotionally with this person. It's, like, literally the truth. It's unfortunate. No emotional honesty. Yep. Stick a fork in it. Yep. Stick a fork in it. Yep. Yep. And that's also the other thing. And I knew it was you, Libra, because you guys you know it's done. In your future, Four of Swords, you got to put it to rest. You have to learn how to rest on what's really true. I think Spirit backed you into a corner where one way or another, your real truth about how you really feel about yourself, about this situation, all came out. Because your Spirit is not going to allow you to hurt someone else anymore. Do you see how tightly they have you backed into a corner? Like, you're not allowed to hurt anybody else anymore by just being emotionally dishonest. And I think now you finally have to take back what you made someone else feel. There's a whole lot of delayed spiritual punishment. You know, Libra, you're kind of done. Because of how you did somebody. Look at the tab. Let's see. Libra. Yeah. Yeah. So this message is really just more about giving you the illumination this partner that you were lying to, this is what's happening. This whole spilled message you've made, it's a lot for them to emotionally uninvest in you and reinvest in someone else. You're going to have to sit back and allow this person, because they've already got to muster up all the strength on their own to go figure out how to do this. But, like, they have to go have, like, God is giving them a new pinnacle specifically to go build the 10 of Pentacles, because it just looks like they've spent so much time doing nothing with you. I feel like this whole partnership is just like a partnership of lies. It's like a house of lies. I just think there's just so many lies, because it's just like, again, you made a really bad habitual habit of like emotional dishonesty, like a habitual habit of emotional dishonesty. Like, you just, your whole life, it's just like, again, Cancer was more so like compulsive lying, where it's just like someone asks you what your zodiac sign is and you say Libra when you're actually a Scorpio. You know, it's like shit like that or something. Like, that's what Cancer's just like lying. It's like, why you just make that up, right? But this is more about like emotional dishonesty. Like, you lie about your feelings about things, and that is a very dangerous place to be. It makes you kind of predatory, low-key, because it became habitual that you were always lying about what made you feel good, what made you feel bad, what made you whatever. And so when this person gets this karmic payout from the divine, because again, I think they were really like, well, I got a good thing because my guys, my business partners always tell me they love working for me and that I'm really awesome. And so, because I feel like, for example, like for me, a lot of people have been really dealing with me kind of unfairly. I've been getting a lot of like crucifixion and punishment and a bunch of bullshit and stuff because the people around them lie. So I tell the truth, and then they buck up against me, and they feel like really reinforced. They're like, well, I got my guys and my team, and we all have group thought, and we don't agree with you, Alexis, so you're the problem. But the real truth is everyone around them is lying. And I'm actually the first person that's probably actually ever told them the like truth about how I feel. Like, the reason I go to sleep fine at night is because like I don't lie about how I feel. I don't do that. I don't lie about anything, but I don't do that. But I definitely get in situations where it's like, these girlies are always around people who normalize lying. Like, if you normalize just like lying all the time, yeah. And so that's why someone's like, dude, you don't even like this. What I'm saying is just like, Libra, it's again, the lying is just kind of like built into the ego of your personality. It's like, just like, oh man, I like you're just so disconnected from your feeling space. And I think it is deeply rooted in trauma. So Libra, it's time for you to, your next step is a healing era. You need to leave partnerships alone, Libra. And you need to go heal. Libras need to heal. They need to heal the relationship and how they feel emotionally about themselves. You need to heal how you feel emotionally about where life has put you, about what you've gone through. You need to heal that, because you keep doing the Libra thing where it's just like 7th house, partnership. And that's been the truth for Libras. Historically, every Libra placement is codependent as fuck. Up until the literal right now, the cosmic reset, you literally have all been so codependent. And so I also will say, this is the last codependent relationship you will ever be allowed to participate in. Because now you're like in spiritual jail. Or you like need to go heal. You need to go heal yourself. And let me say this again, Libra. Before you partner with a damn thing else, you need to go do long, extended periods of healing from what you've been carrying your whole life. This looks like a whole life audit, Libra. And you need to know and not be in your feelings that when God gave this other person a new beginning and an Ace of Pentacles that doesn't go to you, it's like it's someone you were partnering with. Again, I also see a lot of business partnerships that look this way. A lot of collaborators, a lot of people where it's like a lot of people get around you, Libra, and it's like you're always lying about how you feel. And so people think people think you feel closer to them. I'm talking about the real feeling though, not what you say. I feel like you've been telling people like, yeah, but none of it's really connected to your heart chakra. I'm seeing like a lot of Libras with these, it's really cold and desolate. Like there's no water, there's no warmth, there's no nothing. It's just like, you're so, and I've been saying this is a lot of Libras that like really tell you that they're kind of like hidden under the like Libra shtick of like being like harmonious and beautiful. I feel like, I'll tell you this, I'd be careful with a lot of Libra placements, because if there's Libra placements that are out here talking about everything's light and love and beautiful, I don't know. I'm a Libra Mars, and you see what kind of demon time I be on sometimes. Like when my shadow's out, I'm like, nobody's safe, right? But a lot of Libras won't tell you that. A lot of Libras are cutthroat. They're air signs. They're really detached. And I think people definitely, I feel like the person you were partnering with definitely sees that about you now. It's like very illuminated. It's like, you're kind of sociopathic, because you don't connect your truth to the feelings. So those are the type of niggas who will like put your body in a bag and people wouldn't even know they did that to you straight up. They wouldn't even know. But yeah, it looks like God came in and gave the previous partner that you're no longer allowed to connect with at all. Because it just looks like you went on, I'm telling you, you extended a cycle. First of all, you guys weren't even that deeply aligned. For starters, it wasn't that deep. For starters, it should, again, I'm just getting a feeling of like the wind blew you in. You're a baby soul. They're a much older soul than you too. So it's like the wind blew you together and then you meet them. And then I think your people pleaser tendencies mixed with your codependent tendencies, mixed with your baby soul tendencies was like the first thing I need to do when I come across this random person is try to match their energy. So then, but the foundation that you guys built, the foundation you built, because I get that. It's like there was Four of Pentacles clarifying this. It's like you guys kind of randomly blew into each other. And then the foundation you built was built on lies, emotional lies. Because I don't think you ever felt any of the stuff you keep saying to people you feel about this thing. No shade. No fucking shade, brother. No shade, brothers. Oh, God. Oh, God. And I hate to break it to you, Libra, but I'm Libra Mars. Like, I'm really giving divine justice. So I'm letting you know, that, like, this, when this word gets released, you're getting cut off. When bitches get this clarity, you're getting cut off. If they know you got a Libra placement and they watch this video, this energy that's connected to you, whatever you've been partnering with, romantic, business, yeah. Oh, yeah. And you need to let them go because they've already been offered this. I think, again, they're not accepting stuff. They're not accepting new beginnings. They're not accepting new offers. They're not accepting a lot of stuff that they really need to because it's been over 20,000 years since we've had the astrology we have today. So never happened in the face of our humanity, like, right? And like, so they're getting stuff like this and God is like, I cannot have you. But it's because they're still looking at you because the truth is the thing that they have with you has been spilled. It was never you were never their Two of Cups, but their focus is still on you, which means this is literally someone's like, I think I have a good partner. They love me. I have a good woman. I don't want to mess that up. I have a good man, but you're just talking. Oh, no, I love working with him. That's my brother. Oh no, like and you don't feel any of that, Libra. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good, brother. God, Libra. And I just feel like in this fear space, someone has been so scared to go towards what is truly going to make them victorious. Someone doesn't feel like they can walk confidently with their value because of this dynamic that you've created. Like people, like the partner that you're with had this chronic fear that you gave them via all these lies that you've created in their life because they think they're going to be crucified for like this kind of creates a dynamic of like what's natural to you. You start thinking you should be punished for it. So like things this is someone who after they leave this relationship with you, they're probably going to have like a really like a cycle of like the things I desire, like avoidance. Like you've kind of created an avoidant attachment style in someone. Because after dealing with you and the trauma you caused them, closeness feels dangerous. So when they and then maybe this person's real partner is starting to see that. They're like, okay, I know what wounds your previous partner gave you. I can see why they would give you an attachment wound, an avoidant attachment style wound, because they've been avoiding their real feeling about you in the root of that whole long-term relationship you have with them. And I feel like you built a lot on top of them. This isn't good, Libra. It's like you just keep, and I think again, it's just how you were raised. I think it's the way that Libra was raised to do things. You were just raised to like not accurately assess how you feel about things. And I think you just think that's normal. And it's definitely not a normal thing. And it definitely is why you've probably been a pretty lethal person to be with, because it's like you have all this value and you add what you add as Libra, but then it's like everyone is kind of being fucked over because none of the inputs you're putting in are even real. So someone now has an avoidant attachment style. And I don't think it was making sense to the people who are trying to read your partner that are for them, because they don't know why it's like when they want to say how they feel, then they like fucking retract, or they just like go. It's like they only give enough just to keep you in the know. It's because they were dealing with you. And so I just feel like this person's your past person's higher self is telling their new people like, please do not leave me, because I am just really wounded right now. I'm really fucking traumatized from this right now, from what Libra did to me. Let's see the outcome. It's a lot. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah. So, Aries, new moon, Libra, the Tower falls today. The Tower falls today. Yes. Because the real embodiment shows up. So the real divine feminine, the real feelings are erected from the ground. So I think you two were probably, you guys did wait almost sort of like till the timer went off, right? Till God said, okay, all these cycles have to close up. Anyone who's in a codependent cycle, like all of those close up. So the cycle rings. But when this, so because God had to say when, now it's literally like you're in a castle. Because you didn't do the accountability work, I think you've been really like battling and trying to war something, but you don't got none of the equipment to do that. You don't got nothing but your ability to lie, to fight back. Like you can't even really fight back with the fact that like this is like you're sitting in a throne that's a castle that's not yours. So you're getting kicked out because there's a real queen that goes in that picture, straight up. The whoever's supposed to be in the picture, again, whoever's supposed to be in that partnership that you're lying about, feeling how you about being in, they're coming in now. Whoever was actually supposed to be on the prophecy is in the prophecy now. They've been inserted, you've been removed. And you've been inserted in whatever prophecy you're supposed to be in. Does that make sense? And so this King of Cups is just like dealing with that because they're like, I think they have a they have a very strong connection with faith. They're very with God. They're very open-hearted, but they do know that they just had to trust God because you really did a doozy on them. It's not healthy to do this, to lie every time you have sex with somebody about how it feels. Do you know how many times you've had sex with somebody? Like you don't even, it's like so much. So it's like, that's not great data because again, this person is just like walking away being like, well, I'm so sorry, High Priestess, that I'm trying to meet in court for the first time, but only thing I got to tell you about, like, because I feel like this High Priestess needs guarantees, like, okay, well, tell me about yourself, like, what are you going to bring to the table? And because the only data that they have on themselves that's been reflected back to them is all of your lies, it seems sticky, and that's what I mean when I say there was definitely a past life sabotage, like, you were trying to get your lick back at this person, you were almost trying to, because I think in a past life, maybe this partnership or in some way, this person, like, on their way to this dynamic stepped on you. So this is your way of like making it less easy for these two to like come into union in some way. But yeah, lady. So yeah, it literally looks like God is like kicking you out of whatever castle you're in because it belongs to someone else. And it's almost like someone comes home to their castle. It's like you could only even stay there temporarily is what I'm hearing. Because I feel like the way that the prophecy is like engulfing the whole thing, like it's encroaching on you, it's just mad obvious that you're the wrong, like if this is a prince and princess thing, like Libra's the prince, that's not the right princess because there's another princess that's like obviously supposed to be the princess in this castle. And so it's like a bigger deal, you know what I mean? This is like, okay, the business partner that's like shouldn't be on the business deal, but like someone should have been there, that it's going to be very illuminated at this time. Like, not only are you not supposed to be here, but we definitely see the candidate that should have been doing this. Because you keep mismanaging it. Because of the lying about how you feel thing. So, yes, Libra. So, my biggest thing with this message is, the next thing that you need to do is, God is closing out your partnership sectors. I don't even think the divine's going to allow you to go into partnership again, consensually for a minute, until this is the next step for you, Libra. We've got to heal that. And again, if I'm the first person in your entire life that has taught you something different, where it's like, that's not like chivalrous. That's not like Southern hospitality. That's not like what you do. No, that's not that, Libra. This ain't that. No. What you're doing is lying, and it's destructive. And lying about emotions is probably one of the most lethal things to do to a spiritual person, which is why I feel like, Libra, this person that you're doing that to, you definitely have an ancient beef with. And so that's why. So just kind of know that you guys came and you settled it. Like, you got your lick back from the lick they had in their last lifetime. So you guys are even. So it's just, because it looks like God's got a lot for you to work on now. God's got a lot for them to hurry up and get back on it's just for their sensation, again, for the partner that you're no longer in a partnership with, they really have to you're being hollowed out, and they really need to they have the structure ready for who it's really for, but it's just like the damage control of how they're going to explain why they develop this like chronic avoidant attachment style because of dealing with the liar Libras they were around. And the just karma of like fucking over whoever was like not with what they needed for however long, because liar Libra. It's a lot. It's just kind of a lot, Libra. It's like a lot, Libra. So you need to go heal. You definitely need to go. Let's go heal that. Let's go heal that. Let's go heal that. It's not a judgment, but it's like, I just think it's how you were raised. It was just, you were taught to like, that's what you do. It's just like, you know, I think you were taught to be nice. And I think this is just the death of you being nice. I think it's just like, it's over. There's nothing to be nice about. Like, that's not a real data set. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean? Like honesty is all there really is. And I think things need to go back to what they are. Like, a lot of people think I'm rude, but like, I'm even down to the granular shit. Like, usually the shit I'm pushing, I'm like, a skinny man is a skinny man, a big man is a big man, a short woman is a short woman. Like, things are what they are. And it's not this whole echelon of like, who's trying to be mean to you, because if we can't honestly identify what our embodiment is, like, we all get to choose what we want to be. So I'm not assuming anyone's ashamed of themselves. So when I'm telling you, when I just speak truthfully, I'm assuming you're not ashamed of your life. You know what I mean? I feel like you girls would know that. I feel like a lot of you girls is like, I thought you knew you had a baby mama. You know, I thought you knew you had a shitty ass relationship, because why would you do this shit out of order, right? Like, that's not me. That's not a judgment. That's just like me being like, that's what you're doing. But again, Libra, I feel like this whole nice guy, nice gal shtick of just like being like, oh, I just like everybody. Oh, I fucking love this. Or I just love no. Because you're actually just violently lying. You're no different than a Ted Bundy at this point. I mean, I'm serious. The damage you're causing, because the lies have spread to so many other people. Like, I'm telling you, Libra, your lies made me have to stop my reading and do it today, because it was just like, why are you Libras projecting all this energy at me? For what? Because you're emotionally dishonest. So we're gonna need to work on that. But great message. I'm really glad we got this out. I think this gave a lot of people clarity. I think, again, like I said, the next thing for you, the rest of 2026, Libra, would be really awesome for you guys to genuinely go and heal. You don't need people. You don't need a partnership. You just like, you have the things in your life. You have what's important to you. You know what your responsibilities are. You really need to start pouring into yourself. And you really have to make a better relationship with how you feel about who you are. Genuinely. Before you bring yourself into anyone else's world, because this is a lot of karma that you're going to have to deal with and pay. And I think we're still getting the numbers in as we speak, because your lies have now really spread. So as far out as your lies spread, just know you will keep getting rolling karma for it. So if your lies residually throw anything else off balance in the universe, just trust God is going to be dealing with you properly, Libra. So I love you guys. This is huge for you. This is a good thing, because I don't think anyone's ever given you this information. And again, like I said, you're a very baby soul, and you align with a lot of big souls because you want to learn about life. But you have to understand, you got to make sure you don't attach and become codependent on big souls because you want something from them. Because you don't need, if you're a baby soul, you don't need the most G'd up gangster soul to help you through life. You can go link up with other baby souls and get your souls developed just fine. So don't hold people up. Don't lie to keep people in bondage partnerships. I feel like, Libra, you've been glazing, too much glazing, way too much glazing, like primordial glaze, like enough glazing, no more. That's not helpful. This whole personality you have, where it's just like glaze. If you're not Gen Z, so you don't know what glaze means, glazing literally just means like, it's kind of like, it kind of plays on points of like homoerotica, but it's like the way that we would glaze a fucking donut. Like, something is just a piece of dough. Something is literally just a piece of bread, right? But the way you fucking squirt that glaze on it is like you're glazing it. And it just made it way more sweet. Like, a donut is really just a piece of bread with a bunch of sugar on it. But you're adding all this sugar. It's like, people look at you and they're just like, God, this cluck. All they do is just sit around and glaze the people around them, Libra. And I don't think you're realizing like that's where you're at right now. But it actually isn't. It's not nice, because I think you think because I'm saying nice things to people, because I'm glazing, that it's less of a lie. No, it's still emotional dishonesty. Because you don't feel the things you say. It makes people say you're glazing when it's like, are you being dead ass? What the, it's like, so, like, yeah. So, love you. Let's get this one up. And I'm going to go start my day. Love ya. Peace.